Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. Today's video is going to be a story time. I haven't done one of these in a while, and lately I've been having a lot of thoughts and I guess a lot of ideas coming from the comments and questions you guys leave me, so I thought it would be a good time to do a quick story time about my experience changing careers. So for those of you who don't know, here's just a brief summary. So in college, I did not major in art. I did not go to art school. I studied computer science, and I actually ended up working in the tech industry after I graduated for a few years before switching to art full-time. And that was, I think I switched to art full-time about 2 years ago. So I've only been a full-time artist for 2 years. I didn't study art in school, and up until 2 years ago, being a full-time artist was nothing but like a daydream of mine. And a lot of you guys in the comment section have told me that you're kind of going through something similar, that you're in a career that doesn't really give you any fulfillment or doesn't really excite you, but it pays the bills, and you're really wanting to make that transition into being a full-time artist and being able to support yourself off of your art, and you don't really know, I guess, what steps to take. And I'm not saying I have all the answers or that like I'm a life coach, and by all means please take my advice with a grain of salt, because like, again, this is just my personal story and what worked for me within the circumstances and the parameters of my current situation. It doesn't mean it's gonna work out this way for everyone else. Like, everyone's path, everyone's environment is different. But for me, basically, it started off with making that decision to begin with. A lot of people ask me, like, what gave you the confidence and the courage to take that risk of like saying goodbye to a job that's gonna give you financial stability and taking that risk and potentially being unemployed or having no income for, you know, the foreseeable future. And for me, it came down to this, like, I broke down this decision in my mind, and I really enjoyed kind of the two decisions that I ended up with, and I was just choosing between one or the other. The first decision, the first option is a career that pays the bills, that makes you money, that you do not enjoy. And the second option, which was art at the time, was the career that I do enjoy that does not earn me any money currently. And basically, if I keep investing time into the first decision, if I keep putting more work and more of my precious youth and my efforts into the job that I don't like, that'll earn me money, I'm not gonna like it anymore. Like, even if I work my butt off and in a few years I get promoted, or let's say, like, I don't know, I get like become a boss or a manager, like if I ever if I was that good at my job, which I don't think I was, but if I got to that level, I'd have more power, I'd have more responsibility, I would have a higher income, but I would not have any more fulfillment or joy from my job. Like, it was very clear to me, you know, at that point, that no matter what company I went to or what position I played in the company, my heart will always be with being an artist. Like, that is where my natural inclination drifted towards, was I really only had that kind of joy and fulfillment from creating art. So yeah, if I invested more years into option one, a job that pays the bills I don't like, eventually, yeah, it'll keep paying the bills. It might make me rich, but it won't bring me any more joy. And for me, having fulfillment and happiness is way more important than having money. So I looked at the second option, which is a job that I know I will enjoy, but I don't know when it will earn me money or if it will ever earn me money. And the way I looked at it was, if I kept investing time into it and working hard and putting in the hours and the effort into growing my art career and producing work and trying to sell it and putting myself out there, then eventually I could earn money from this job, and then it'll become the job that both pays the bills and gives me that fulfillment. And that to me is like a way better path than the path that I know will only lead to more misery and more like feeling mediocre. And then the other path, yes, it comes with risk. It doesn't come with any guarantees, but at least I'm going towards a better goal, which is be able to support myself and whatever family I have in the future, and also be able to do a job that I love. So for me, it was like as simple as that. I chose the option that had more potential. And also, the reason I quit my job at such a young age, like I wasn't in the tech industry very long, you know, like I remember at the time my parents were like, why don't you give it some more time, like give it another shot, just try to switch companies or whatever. And I was like, no, like if there's a perfect time to quit and start from scratch, start a completely new industry, it's now, because I was in my 20s and I didn't have kids, I wasn't married, I wasn't paying a mortgage, I wasn't doing, like, I didn't have anyone kind of relying on me, I was just by myself. And so if I made a mistake or, you know, took a risk and it didn't turn out well, I didn't have other people relying on me. So, you know, if I mess up, I only mess up for myself. And I think now is the perfect time for me to do it, because later on, if I have children to support, or if I have a house to pay off, or, you know, like other, like children's health bills and school and like I will feel guilty taking a risk, because that'll be a very selfish decision, and I would feel really like chained to a career that pays the bills and has a steady, reliable income, because I would want to make that sacrifice to support my family. But right now, while I'm still young, like I can make that selfish decision to pursue something that I love. So that is why I chose to quit my job, and I chose to do it when I was in my early 20s. So let's say now you've decided that you want to quit your job. Now what? Like, what are the steps you take? How do you make sure you don't end up completely regretting it and, like, I don't know, becoming homeless? So my first tip is to save a lot of money. So don't just rage quit and quit your job like the next day. If you want to quit eventually, you got to start planning now. Like, if you want to quit, give yourself a year, honestly, is what I suggest, to live really frugally and save that income that you make. So, you know, don't buy any fancy clothes, don't go on expensive trips, don't go out to bars, you know, like instead of watching a movie, just stay home and watch Netflix. Like, basically try to save as much money as you can and give yourself, I would say, enough like of a financial cushion to support yourself for, I would say, at least 2 years. So whatever you pay for rent, whatever money you spend on groceries and necessities, try to calculate that monthly bill. Let's say for example your rent is $500 and then you spend another $500 on food and gas and like necessities. Then you have $1,000 a month that you need to survive. So make sure you save enough for 2 years. Make sure you save at least $24,000 before you decide to quit your job and pursue a career where you don't have any guarantees of money yet. This is my suggestion. I know this might sound like really tough and really hard for a lot of people, like saving that much money is so hard, but honestly, if you just live frugally and cut down how much you spend on restaurants, on clothing, you will see it's actually really, really easy to save money. Yeah, and so before you quit your job, make sure you have a good cushion to fall back on, because art is not, it is a very risky career. I'll make another video about this later, but in like the first year of my full-time artist career, I made like barely any money, like barely. I made some occasionally if I was lucky, like I'd sell an original painting and I'd be like, whoa, that never happens. But yeah, for the first year, even though I had like tens of thousands of Instagram followers, like it takes time to build momentum. It takes time to build a collector base. It takes time to build up an audience that wants to invest money in you. So be patient and like be realistic. Like just know that it's not gonna happen overnight. All the other artists that I was inspired by, that I saw as my role models, I could not feel further from where they are. Like I always felt like to get to their level, it was like almost an unachievable dream. So I always had this really realistic outlook on it, that like it really takes sorry, my cats are like fighting in the background and hissing. Guys, calm down, don't fight. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I always knew that it would take me time and that success doesn't happen overnight, and honestly it does take a little bit of luck. I feel like it's a combination of hard work, talent, the right business skills, and luck. So I knew that it wasn't just going to happen for me even if I did work hard. So that's why I had my savings account. That's why I was living really frugally for the longest time. Like I didn't take any vacations. I didn't buy any new clothes for myself for like 2 years. Like I just wore the same clothes. And that's fine with me. Those things aren't that important to me. But make sure you have a lot saved, and make sure that you, while you are not earning any money on your artist income, you have to live off of savings and just live very frugally. And honestly, even if you have a good month as an artist, art is unpredictable. There's no company giving you a paycheck every month. So you could have a good month followed by a bad month. Even if you earn a lot of money in the good month, still be frugal and save for the next month or maybe the month after that, because you never know when a bad month is gonna hit you. And honestly, if you can't save up that much money that quickly and you want to quit your job earlier and invest more time into being a full-time artist, you can always get a part-time job. This is something that I myself thought about, and there are plenty of other, like I was thinking about jobs where it wouldn't take me that long to get like the proper licensing and paperwork. So I could either do like freelance tech consulting in my current field, or I could honestly even get like a real estate license and like just find some sort of job that can help you pay half the bills while you're investing half the time into your art. I know not everyone has the luxury of, like, if, for example, if you're watching this and you already have kids that you have to support and a family that you have to support, you can't just save and be frugal and make your whole family like be super frugal just so you can make that career change yourself. So yeah, like I would say find like a part-time job, or this is the most intense way, and I don't recommend this, but I did this for a while too, is like try to balance both at the same time. So the reason why, another huge reason why I quit my full-time career at the time was I really didn't have time to balance both a full-time art career and a full-time regular job. But if you can, if for some reason you're amazing at time management and you don't need a lot of sleep and you don't need to socialize, just balance it. So sacrifice weekends, sacrifice your happy hours, sacrifice your partying nights, and use that pocket of time to invest into your art career. And then once your art career is building up enough momentum, then quit your job. So for me, I kind of like, I had sold a few pieces and a few prints before I decided to quit my job, because that gave me the confidence to let me know that there is a market out there for my work and there is a potential for an audience to want to buy my work. And I would never quit my job unless I've sold at least a few pieces already, just to kind of almost demonstrate that you have a knowledge of your audience. And yeah, so if you haven't sold any pieces yet, if you're honestly just starting off, like, and you still need to practice on your skills, I would advise not to quit your job or to pursue art full-time until you've done enough research and had enough of experience to know kind of the path you have ahead of you. And last but not least, sorry, this video is getting really long, but please do not forget about things like taxes and health insurance. And these are things that, like, when you have a full-time job, they're kind of taken care of for you. Like, you know, your health insurance is provided by your company, your retirement savings account, a lot of times your company takes care of it, and also your taxes, it's, you know, very straightforward to do. You get like a W-2 and you just fill it out. So if you really do decide to seriously pursue art as a full-time business and you're transitioning out of an office job or an alternative career, you will now have to do all those things yourself. You have to apply for healthcare yourself, like select the plan that fits you, and healthcare is really expensive. Like, if you can have healthcare covered by your spouse or by a company or by a parent, like, you're lucky, because healthcare is expensive and the coverage is not so good. And taxes too. Like, I hire someone now to do my taxes because now I run a self-employed business, and there's a lot of little things that I can't just go on turbotax.com and make it happen on my own anymore. So I need to hire a professional. That costs money, that costs time. And yeah, retirement savings account. Like, I know if you're watching this and you're young, you're like, what does that even mean? But yeah, if you're an adult, you really do have to save for retirement. So you have to, like, set aside money that you earn every month and put it into a special account, and there's special tax benefits about it. And yeah, like, I'm always, like, I think it's just my upbringing. My parents always taught me to be prepared. And so even though right now I feel like I'm still in the process of growing my career, and my number one focus is on my art and creating art every day and making videos and trying to, like, really just knock it out of the park, I also in the back of my mind know that whatever money I make, I have to save it, right? Like, I have to set aside money for the future kids that I don't have yet, the future family that I need to support. I need to start doing that now. So yeah, this is a lot to think about, and I hope you guys found this video useful. I'm sorry if it's a little confusing or if it stressed you out, but if you are thinking of switching careers or thinking of starting a career as a full-time artist, these are all factors you really have to consider. Like, you have to consider, like, how much momentum do you have right now? What's your skill level at right now? Honestly, how much passion do you have for it right now? And how much money can you save for your future? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.